Good afternoon, everybody, and thank you for coming. Just so you know, we're streaming live right now. Vancouver police are investigating the third reported virtual kidnapping this year and are again warning the public about these elaborate extortion schemes that have cost victims hundreds of thousands of dollars. I can start that one again.
I'm sorry.
That's okay. That's fine. I'll start again. Thank you. Vancouver police are investigating the third reported virtual kidnapping this year. And again, we're warning the public about these elaborate extortion schemes that have cost victims hundreds of thousands of dollars. In this most recent case, a young woman in her early 20s from mainland China, studying in Canada on a student visa, received a call from someone pretending to be a Chinese police officer. The call appeared to come from an actual Chinese police phone number, a practice common with fraudsters called spoofing. The woman was convinced that she was implicated in a money laundering scheme investigation in China, and she was required to transfer Chinese funds for police and court costs. The money was paid through a Bitcoin automated teller machine. The suspects continued to threaten her with arrest unless she paid additional money, and convinced her to provide them with a compromising photo, which were sent to her family in China via WeChat. Ransom demands made it look as though she were kidnapped. Her family paid the ransom, thus clearing the remaining balance she was convinced she owed. The victim was physically unharmed. These are deplorable crimes that are having a huge impact on these young, trusting students and their families. We need to make sure people are aware to prevent them from continuing. We want to remind any foreign students that the Chinese police will not arrest you in Canada. And if you are confused or scared, please reach out to your local police department in Canada. We are here to help. It is believed that the suspects are not in Canada, and it remains unclear how the victims are chosen. Investigators from the VPD's Major Crime Section continue to work with Chinese officials and other police agencies. The VPD has received 3 reports of virtual kidnappings and 2 reports of attempted virtual kidnappings so far in 2018. Investigators believe that there are many more incidents that have not yet been reported, and we're appealing to anyone with information about these crimes to call the VPD's Major Crime Section at 604-717-3679 or Crime Stoppers anonymously at 1-800-222-8477. I have some tips we have put up on our website as well, and I'll display them for you here. First one will be in English, and we also have it translated into Chinese, and I'll hold these up here. I'll make them available shortly after for pictures as well, and they're also on our website. I'll just read you some important facts that we're sending out to anybody in the hopes that we'll spread the word about these crimes and preventing them. The Chinese police or government cannot arrest you in Canada. Any legitimate contact from Chinese authorities will be through the local police. Canadian and Chinese authorities will not ask you to destroy a phone or pretend that you are the victim of a crime. If you have been contacted by someone claiming to be the Chinese police, call your local police for assistance, even if the person tells you not to. Your local police are here to help. You can reach out to the police if you feel threatened. I'll now open up to any questions that you may have.
In past virtual kidnapping cases, we see victims hide in somewhere where no one can find them or destroy their phone. Is it the same case for the most recent one?
The most recent one included, we've had 3, and this is the 3rd one, have had very similar characteristics in how the crimes are completed out. I don't have the details. I'm not going to get into specifics. All 3 are still ongoing investigations. We can say that they all had the same hallmarks and the same comparisons, what we call in police talk as the MO. They all appear to be the same targeting the victims first and then walking them through this elaborate scheme.
So is there anywhere we get an idea how long have they been hidden for? How much money did they lose? Anything we can know about?
What I can say right now is that it's hundreds of thousands of dollars that these victims are out right now. When you put all three cases together, it's quite a substantial amount of money.
What language are they speaking in, if one or more?
It's going to be, I'm not sure exactly of the specific language, but definitely in Cantonese. I don't know if Mandarin as well, but I can say definitely Cantonese.
Are you planning on doing any kind of informational blitz, say it's UBC, SFU, ESL schools, that sort of thing?
You bet. Yeah, since the beginning of our first media release, which was on May the 9th, we're continuing with getting the word spread as best we can, working with our partnering agencies locally, also internationally with the Chinese government and Chinese officials, and we are working with schools, and we have different campaigns out there to try and get the word out there to try and prevent this from happening.
Great. Thank you.
Any more questions?
Can you show me the yeah.
Which one would you like?
The both.
Oh.
Both again?
Yeah.
This may be more information than you're willing to give up, but do they actually threaten to harm or kill the virtual kidnap victim?
These victims are very trusting, and they take advantage of these victims. And there are threats made, and they do believe that what the suspects are telling them on the phone are to be true. There are threats of arrest, threats of some sort of legal action taken either in Canada as a result of an investigation in China, if that makes sense.
Is all the communication just done over the phone between the suspects?
It's a variety. It is over the phone, and we're looking into how that starts and possibly on how they are selected. But there is some chats, such as WeChats and some other chat groups that are utilizing this as well, just messages and phone calls and things like that, video, photographs, they're all involved.
But they're not meeting with them in person.
They've never met face to face. I've never seen the suspects.
I've heard some similar stories, similar cases happen in Hong Kong over the past 2 years, I think. And it turned out they found out all the callers are calling in from another jurisdiction. So I guess it may be a high possibility that the callers for these 3 cases are from other jurisdictions of the country.
Yeah, information the investigators do not believe that the callers are in Canada. They are abroad, and we are working with partnering agencies such as the Chinese authorities to work these cases and work with them to try and identify who the suspects are.
And even though the call display show up a number from China, it doesn't necessarily mean the call comes from China, right?
Yeah, that's the first one, and it's what we refer to as spoofing, where they're able to get some sort of device that shows that they are calling from an actual maybe Chinese police station or a number associated to a government agency in China or here, and they believe that that person is who they say they are, and they actually aren't. And that's how this elaborate scheme starts, and it goes from there.
Does any of your advice include how they are appearing on social media with names, where they're going to school, etc.?
I'm sorry?
Does any of your advice involve how they are appearing on social media, the victims, where they go to school, where their real names, that sort of thing?
Our advice right now is to bring awareness to this. Everybody has, I would say everybody, but majority of people right now are on social media, have a phone, and are using electronics and social media in a variety of different ways. There are safety things that we would like to tell people, but the biggest thing right now in this is that you need to be aware that this is happening and to call your local police here in Canada if you have any issues at all or any questions regarding something similar, if you get a phone call or a text message or a message, you will not be arrested in Canada by the Chinese authorities. I'll tell you that.
Thank you.
Okay. All right, thank you.
Is the image that you showed on the screen there, is that on the website?
That'll be on our website, and this was on our website for a while as well, so we're just putting it up there again. But okay, thank you guys.
Jason?
Yep, no worries.